Hello from Becky and me. Welcome to this evening's programme.
First tonight, Stansted, Luton and Norwich airports all paralysed. Travel plans for thousands in chaos after a volcanic eruption in Iceland spread ash in our skies.
Yes, the latest advice means all non-urgent flights are grounded until at least 7 o'clock tomorrow morning after fears that the ash could be sucked into the engines and cause catastrophic failures.
More on that in just a moment from our correspondent Neil Bradford. First, Emma Baker joins us live from an eerily quiet Stansted Airport. Emma, a long day for travellers and just waiting to find out what happens next, I suppose.
Absolutely, Becky. Yes, an incredibly long day for many people here at Stansted Airport. An airport which, as you quite rightly say, is eerily quiet here this evening. If you take a look to the side of me, you can see all those planes are now grounded. None of those flights have been flying since this morning, and no flights will fly out of this airport until tomorrow morning at the absolute earliest. Well, I spent the day here talking to a few of those thousands of passengers who've been affected, some of them trying to go on holiday today, some of them trying to go to stag do's, hen do's, some trying to get to family weddings tomorrow, others on holiday here simply now desperately trying to get home. Many of those people have now taken alternative transport. I have in the last few minutes been inside the terminal, which is a lot quieter than it was this morning, but I can tell you there are still people there who've camped down this evening. They say they won't be leaving this airport unless it's on a flight. 3 airports, 3 different pictures, 1 story. Air travel chaos.
Ryanair cancelled the flights as we were pulled into the airport. We've gone into the board and it's still not saying the flight's cancelled, but the staff are telling us that the airport's all going to be shut.
Everyone's been told that the flight's cancelled, and that's that really. But yeah, a lot of unhappy people there.
Frustrating, yes, but can't be helped. One of those things, isn't it? Unusual excuse, volcanic dust in the atmosphere.
At Stansted Airport this morning, some arrived before they'd heard the news. How confident are you that you are going to be able to get that flight?
Pretty confident. I'm hoping I get there. Why's that?
Because there's been a whole volcanic dust cloud which has come down from Iceland, which are cancelling flights. Have you heard about that?
No, I haven't heard about that. Haven't heard about that at all.
Once inside the terminal, he was left in no doubt. Are you flying?
No, it's cancelled for today.
And he wasn't alone. Thousands upon thousands of passengers were left as grounded as the flights. Some of the people waiting here at the airport have been here since the early hours of this morning. They're now trying to desperately rebook to get to their end destination. Many of them know that won't be today, and it may not even be tomorrow. And this is the problem. An erupting volcano in southern Iceland producing a huge cloud of ash. This satellite image shows the cloud working its way over Scotland. As it travels south, there's no knowing how long it could take to clear. Back in our region, and Luton Airport was a similar picture of passenger disruption. But in Norwich, the terminal was deserted as the news spread. The Hebden family from Ramsey in Cambridgeshire have had to put their holiday to Orlando on hold, but they were resigned to the situation.
I'd rather, you know, be down here than up there and the flames go out in the engine, which is what they've told me the ash would do to the plane. So, yeah, I'm quite happy to wait.
Back at Stansted, one group of hockey supporters had taken matters into their own hands. With their flight to Slovenia cancelled, they booked a coach at the cost of almost £6,000. And it's not just the passengers who are facing extra expense.
It's a hugely expensive problem for us, but it is irrelevant when it's compared to passenger safety. That is the only thing that matters.
But one man from Norwich was determined to make it to Ireland, no matter how long it took.
I've got 4 days in Ireland, and if I can get over there with 2 days to spare, I will. I'm actually going to go and see a woman over there who I haven't met yet, who I'm going to see for the first time, and she's waiting there. So, yes, I'm going to bide my time and hopefully go.
And have you told her what's going on?
Yes, I've kept her informed, and she's waiting at the hotel there, so...
With flights now grounded until 7 a.m. at the earliest, it'll be a long night ahead.
Well, Emma, it's a question everyone's been asking throughout the day. When will the planes be back up in the sky? Do we have any news on that or not?
That's all right. We'll make sure we get your best signs.
So you say that is the question everyone wants to know. First of all, the UK airspace was closed until 6 o'clock tonight, then that got pushed back until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Now that's been pushed back until 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Of course, that could get pushed back further as the situation develops overnight. So at the moment, people just don't know exactly when the UK airspace could reopen. It's all because of this volcanic cloud of ash working its way southwards. No one knows how long that's going to be before that clears out of our airspace. Crucially, no one knows how long that's going to be until that volcano stops erupting. And we'll be speaking to some of the airlines. Flybe, EasyJet, Ryanair, all will be giving full refunds or offering alternative flights to the passengers when the flights are back up and running. For those people who are hoping to travel tomorrow, it really is a game of wait and see. They are being advised to check with their airlines before they start out on their journey.
All right, Emma, thank you very much indeed for that. We will, of course, have the very latest on that situation in our late bulletin at 10:30 this evening. So then, hundreds and thousands of passengers, in fact, left stranded by these seismic events in Iceland.
But why? Planes fly through rain and thunderstorms all the time. So what's made this cloud of ash so disruptive? Well, Neil Bradford's been finding out.
As planes remain parked and passengers wait patiently, many have been left wondering whether the authorities have overreacted.
The closure of all UK airspace may be causing severe disruption for thousands of air passengers, but experts say if planes were allowed to fly, the results could be catastrophic.
Well, the amount of air these engines suck through, even per second, is very, very large. And volcanic ash...
Professor Riti Singh is an expert in gas turbine engines at Cranfield University. He explained what could happen.
Having gone through the engine, comes to the combustion system, where it's been known to blow out the combustion system, and that creates the situation that the engine can no longer produce any power, and that, of course, is a critical situation.
In June 1982, a British Airways jumbo jet was flying over the Indian Ocean when all 4 engines failed. Unknown to the crew, they'd flown into the ash from a volcanic eruption near Jakarta in Indonesia. Following standard procedure, the captain shut down all engines. The crew and passengers seemed to be heading for certain death. But with sulphur fumes filling the cabin, the captain decided to hasten descent in order to fill the plane with air. In doing so, the plane dropped below the ash cloud, the engines cleared, and he was able to restart them. For the passengers and crew, it was a terrifying ordeal, now much talked about in the classroom and the simulator.
The experience of flight BA009 is one that the airline industry does not want repeated. It's now part of every pilot's training.
As it's impossible to predict how the volcano dust has dispersed into the atmosphere, grounding all flights in the UK appears to be the safest option. Neil Bradford, Anglia News, Cranfield University.
It certainly does. Right, moving on to other news now. Inmates at Oakington Immigration Detention Centre near Cambridge